What is going on, podcast listeners? I am here today with another fantastic interview. I'm with Mr. Greg Reid, Dr. Greg Reid, that is, who received his honorary Ph.D. in literature, is considered one of the top 5 keynote speakers by Forbes and Entrepreneur. He's been published in more than 70 books, that blows my mind, which have been translated in over 45 languages. Among his best-selling books are Wealth Made Easy, Stickability, and 3 Feet from Gold. He is the producer of a new movie, Wishman, based on the true story of the founder of Make-A-Wish Foundation. And for over 25 years, Greg has inspired hundreds of thousands of people to take personal responsibility, to step into the potential of their greatness, and as such, his life of contribution has been recognized by government leaders, a foreign princess, as well as luminaries in education, business, and industry. This is going to be a fantastic interview with a guy who has done so many things, who's accomplished so much, who has empowered so many people to live in their truest potential. I'm very excited to introduce Mr. Dr. Greg Reid.
There you go. And then the crowds go wild.
And then he comes on stage in his awesome suit, the music's playing, and everybody's on their feet clapping.
I got to talk about that. So people that have ever seen me on Instagram or follow my work, they know I wear pretty crazy jackets, but there's a reason behind it. I mean, when I wanted to become a speaker, I went to all the top ones in the world. And the one tip they said is to never wear black. And I said, why? He says, well, when you wear a dark suit and it's a black background, you look like a talking head just floating there. And he said, if you wear a different color, blue, green, red, what have you, you'll pop and you'll stand out from every other speaker. That's the reason I do it.
It's amazing. And I've seen all of the awesome jackets. You just got an awesome like red suede one at Secret Knock a few months ago. That was super cool. My first question to you, because just in your bio, published in more than 70 books. Mm-hmm. How have you done it? How can others like start their path to releasing and sharing information like that?
Well, first of all, I'm not a great writer. I'm an author, and this is like no Santa Claus, but here's a real scoop. An author is a person whose name goes on a book, and a writer is a person who wrote the book. It's kind of like in the music industry. Katy Perry didn't write all of her songs. She's had other people help her. So the whole idea is that I have got the idea and concept, and then I initiate with ghostwriters and editors who make my words come out in a way that people would actually want to read it. So that's how I've done it. And what I do is I've incorporated the world's best writers who take my little scrambled stuff to make it look like people would actually learn something. So that's the idea.
Oh, it's amazing. And you often co-write books with so many people. I've seen some of the people that you have at your events to speak, just the people in the audience, the communities that you bring together is just so amazing. I have 2 questions that stem from that. The first one is, how did you come to bring so many amazing people together in one place time and time again?
You're talking about Secret Knock, I assume. So
Secret Knock and yeah, all the places you speak is just always full of cool people.
Well, here's the way it works. Again, it's so simple, it'll almost scare you. So years ago, I started working with the Napoleon Hill Foundation, right, in the Think and Grow Rich legacy series, and we got it published worldwide and became a great phenomenon. Well, I got a chance to sit down and meet with everyone from presidents to, world leaders, the icons and whatnot. And then people come up to me and said, hey, how do I meet your friends that are these people you're getting a hold of? So I started an event in the living room called Secret Knock, where I would introduce them to a few. And then they left and told people, and it became a phenomenon. I mean, you'll never see a Facebook ad. And our whole concept is that it's the greatest event you cannot attend. I mean, you have to be invited to even go. And then my partner, Jeff Klubeck, and I combined forces where you'll see in 2020, it's going to be even bigger and better than ever.
Amazing. My second question that stems from the same concept is, because you spend so much time with millionaires, billionaires, what do you think are the most, off the top of your head, the most impactful things you've learned from all these people?
Well, I'll give you two. One is to seek counsel and not opinion. Opinions based on ignorance, lack of knowledge, inexperience, like all your family friends who've never done what you're talking about. Counsel's based on wisdom, knowledge, mentorship. People pave the way. If you go to a family friend and tell them you're going to write a book, they might talk you out of it if you got a D in English and is dyslexic. But if you go to Mark Victor Hansen, who wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul, and say, hey, how do you do it? He'll sit you down and say, before you get started, here's what you need to know and give you counsel. If we would spend our activities only seeking counsel and ignoring people's opinion, that's the day our lives would change. So just be very careful of where we're getting our information from.
Incredible. So most of our listeners were brought here because they are stuck in some place that they're trying to get out of. They're looking for a way to get from where they are to where they want to be, mostly on their journey to hitting six figures and beyond. So they're below that threshold, and some of them are just getting started. Some of them have produced revenue, that maybe they have a couple employees. If you were in my shoes, providing the information that I strive to provide for our listeners, how would you help someone get to where they want to be on that journey?
Well, first of all, seek counsel, not opinion. Door number one. And door number two is surround yourself with people that are getting the results you want. I'll give you an example. When I wanted to make a movie, I never made a movie before. I found the people that have won Oscars and done the film industry, and I asked them how to do it. And I duplicated for myself, and now we got a movie in the theaters. When I wanted to become a best-selling author, I didn't go to people who wrote great books. I didn't want to be a great writing author. I didn't give a crap. I just wanted to be a great best-selling author. So I went to Barnes & Noble. I bought every bestseller, and I asked them how they did it. The same thing when I wanted to be a speaker. The same thing when I wanted to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. I did not ask some dope-smoking surfer to take me all the way to the roof of Africa. I found the Sherpa that had climbed it 900 times. Wherever they put their boot print, I put my boot print. I followed successful actions of others. So the key that we want to do is make sure that we reach out to people that are doing what we want to do right now and ask them for guidance. And you'll be shocked that the most successful people are also the most available people, because everyone wants what people have, but no one ever asks them how they actually accomplished it.
That's such a foreign concept to so many people, that the people who are the wealthiest, who have what we want, often are the most willing to give their knowledge to other people. And it's such a
look. If you're brand new at something, you're at the bottom. You're happy-go-lucky. You're fresh or cool. If you're at the top, the pinnacle, you're happy-go-lucky. You got nothing to prove. If you're in the middle, pain in the neck. You're filled with ego. You're edging God out. You find your own voice. So the secret, when you're in school, you get in trouble for jumping to the front of the line. In life and business and success, we're rewarded for jumping to the front of the line. If you look at it, take all emotion aside. Every single great enterprise that's coming out now, it's always second, third, fourth, and as it came out and was released. Right now, Facebook wouldn't be Facebook if it wasn't for MySpace and Friendster and Foursquare and all that other crap that came before it. So all they did is learn from the mistakes and setbacks and jump to the front of the line. If you go back and start looking at all of our greatest successes and achievements, look, if I was going to open a brand new restaurant chain, my buddy's the guy who started, Chuck E. Cheese, but he did it 40 years ago. I probably wouldn't ask him. I go, who's doing Five Guys right now, or In-N-Out Burger? And I go to the front of the line that people are kicking ass in today's market and ask them what they're doing and apply those techniques, because things are changing ongoing. So the big question is, who's getting the results that you want for yourself today? Reach out. You'll be surprised how accessible they truly will be.
What do you see being the number one most important strategy for business growth in the next 2 years?
Adaptability, flexibility. Look, the real realities are things are changing so fast. And unless we're willing to adapt and adjust with them, you'll get stuck. And I always tell a story about a spider monkey in the rainforest. It's the most quick, nimble creature. You can't catch it. It's too wiry. One hunter figured it out. He took a heavy log, dropped a peanut inside a little hole, and left it at the base of the jungle. The monkey would smell the nut, reach his hand in, grab a hold of it, and his fist becomes so big he can't pull it back out and become anchored to the log. All he's got to do is let go, but he thinks that nut is nutrition. It's saving him, so he holds on with dear life. The hunter comes by an hour later, captures the elusive spider monkey. The big question is, are we holding on to our own net in life? But it could be in the form of a job or a deal or a way we've always done it, or a car, or remorse or fear. And what we think is saving us, like the monkey thought the nut was, could be the thing that's leading to our own demise. Sometimes we have to have the courage to simply let go and adjust and adapt so we can live to fight another day.
Powerful, powerful, powerful. Adaptability.
Adaptability is the key to everything. It's interesting. I asked the guy who started, Chick-fil-A restaurants, Cathy. I said, I want to be a billionaire like you. What do I do different? And he goes, stop planning. I go, what? He goes, last year you had a lot of plans. I go, yeah. He goes, how did that work out for you? He goes, I guarantee you hit a goal, but it didn't because it came the way you expected it. He goes, I guarantee you adapted and adjusted along the way because you're wiry. He goes, if I'm on my sofa in my house and I want to get to the end of the street, that's my goal, I have to get off my backside, take action, and move towards my goal, and then look for unexpected opportunity. Did a kid leave a bicycle or a skateboard out to make my journey short? If I get lucky, I'll wave down a neighbor driving by and hitch a ride to the end of the street. He goes, either way, I'll get to my goal. I just don't mind how it has to happen. And that's the secret of all success, is to have the goal and the vision of what you want, and then have the willing and flexibility to adjust along the way.
No plan. That's scary. That's a scary thought.
Well, you can have strategy, because strategy is adaptability, right? But a plan is usually set in stone, and people get stuck. And so I just realized for myself, of talking to these millionaires and billionaires and all these different people, that's the only thing they did differently. Look, everyone's heard the cliche 1,000 times. A plane takes off from here to Hawaii and adjusts to hit the little dot in the middle of the ocean. That's the way it is. That's the same thing in business. So my strategy is to get from here to Hawaii. But guess what? If a storm comes and I got to go higher or lower or go around it, who cares? I'm just going to end up on my dot. It's the same thing in life and business. If we sit there and go, I'm going to stick to this game plan no matter what and not adjust, well, then you're going to give yourself more challenges than you're even destined for.
Love it. I love it. Amazing, amazing insight. Greg, I want for myself and the people listening to get to know you a little bit better. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions to do so. First one, what is one non-negotiable habit you implement every day?
Every single day I say 3 prayers, which is really strange. And I do it to my universe of my God. And the whole concept is that I believe in the law of vibration. And so I throw it out each and every day of what I'm looking for, and I expect it to be delivered to me. The only difference is I'm not attached to the outcome in which it comes. And so that's the biggest non-negotiable that I've been working through for myself. So if I sit there and say I want $100, and I say, please, God, give me $100. And the guy pulls up in a big pickup truck full of aluminum cans. I don't say, get those stinky things out of here. I realize I asked for it. It was delivered. I'm not going to get attached to the delivery system in which it came.
What is one book you wish everyone in the world would read other than the 70 that you're in? Maybe there is one in there, though.
Well, Jim Stovall's, it's called The Ultimate Gift, the greatest book in history on personal development when it comes to mentorship, completely transformed my life.
On what do you like to spend your time and money outside of business?
Travel, and, I do weird stuff. I'm into self-care lately. So I've been going out and been taking care of myself. So I just had some dental work done. I've been working on my shoulder. I go get massage and things of this nature, because I realize that some of the greatest ahas come when I'm least focusing on it.
What is the most memorable experience, good or bad, you've ever had?
Bucket list. So when I was 17, 18, I made a list of 80 impossible items that I would want to do before I passed away. And last year I knocked the last one off the list. And all of those 80 items were unbelievable great experiences for myself, from running with the bulls to swimming with sharks to getting an honorary Ph.D. with Mr. Lamborghini, all the way down the list. I've been very fortunate to live a life that most people can only dream.
What is the most insightful or actionable piece of advice you've ever received?
Seek counsel, not opinion. And that one has changed everything for me. And second is one that I'm implementing now from the new book called Wealth Made Easy. It's funny, my partner Jeff Klubeck and I have been working on a thing called CPC. It's called Clues, Patterns, Choices. And what that means is that everything that happens to us is accountability and responsibility of our own actions. Meaning, clues, patterns, choices. If I go out on a first date and a woman is 20 minutes late, it is a clue. If I go on the second and third date and they're 20 minutes late, it is a pattern. Now it is my choice whether I deal with it, adjust with it, or accept it, but it's not their fault. They're just late. It's who they are. It's not my job to change them or get angry or upset. It's a matter of having that accountability and responsibility that the next time they're late, it's because I chose to be there. I see so many times that a snake will rattle its little thing warning someone, then bite your friend, and then we decide to play with the snake and get angry at the snake for biting us. We saw the clue. We saw a pattern. It was our choice. So for myself, that's the number one thing.
Wow. That is actually very relatable to my life right now. So I appreciate that insight.
Well, make a better choice, brother.
I'm holding myself accountable 100%, but you putting it in that equation, I'm just like, okay.
Well, think about it. How many times we heard rumors of a guy who does a bad business deal. Then we see them do a bad business deal with a friend of ours and go, well, it'll be different for me. Then we have a bad business deal and we're angry at the guy. No, we saw a clue, we saw a pattern, but it was our choice. We have to live with that outcome.
I love it. I love it. So for people who want to become a part of your community, who want to get to know you better, who want to surround themselves with people like you, how do they do that?
Well, first of all, you can Google. I mean, it's a great little thing. Just Greg S. Reid. You can find all the different platforms, but I invite you to apply for Secret Knock in March of 2020. I'm telling you, it is going to be like nothing we've ever done before. Look, many will apply. Not everyone will be accepted, but this one's going to be spectacular. The way it works is it's very expensive to attend. We're the antithesis of other events where they brag about all their speakers that are coming and how great it is. Here's the way it works for us. You got to apply to go, and then it costs $3,000 to attend, but we will not tell you where it is or who will even be there. It's the way it is. You got to trust us. But it's our job then to deliver so highly that you go back and tell your friends, and that's how we hit the Forbes, Inc., and Entrepreneur's top 10 list of business events for business leaders worldwide.
Oh, amazing. I will put all of those resources in the show notes. You'll be able to find out more about Greg. You'll be able to get his books, all 70 of them if you want to, learn from him, but apply them and take advantage of the information that he has worked so hard to deliver to you guys and has spent time with some of the top people in the world to create for you. So I will put all that stuff in the show notes. You'll be able to access all that stuff.
Yeah,
Greg,
I want to share one of my other ones with you real quick, because I know you want to wrap it up because you're being kind of your time, but I'm going to keep this going a little bit. So here's the deal. One of the greatest interviews I did was with Steve Wozniak, founder of Apple Computers with Jobs. And I said, how did you guys create so much wealth and abundance? And his answer was simple. He goes, we embraced our lack. But what do you mean? He goes, as a brand new entrepreneur, we're missing a lot of things. And he goes, all we do is focus on what we don't have and wish we had more. He goes, Jobs and I went the opposite way. He goes, when microchip processors came out, they were so expensive, we could only afford one of these chips. He goes, Jobs sold his Volkswagen. I sold my calculator. We pooled our money to buy one chip. He goes, Hewlett-Packard would make these machines that would go from point A to B with 20 chips. They had all the money of God. He goes, so I would pull away 5 and go from A to B with 15. And then another 5, get it to work with 10. Finally, we went from A to B using our single chip. He goes, we weren't trying to be innovative. We weren't trying to be cool. But rather than run from our obstacles, we ran toward it, and we found the shortest, cleanest path. And by doing that, we changed the way people will do personal computing for the rest of the world for the rest of their life. He says, where could you be right now in your own business if you stop looking at something as your greatest challenge and obstacle, but it could just be the greatest blessing and opportunity in disguise?
So shortening the amount of stuff that it takes to accomplish whatever it is that you are seeking.
The bottom line is this, is that if we can look at everything that holds us back, comes down to one word, and it's fear. And it's not fear of success. It's not fear of failure. It's the fear of judgment. It's what other people will think. That's why we don't do craziest things. The realities are most people are afraid to share their ideas of what other people's input. And the funniest thing is no one's even thinking about you because they're dealing with their own situations. There's a bumper sticker at Disneyland. It says, what would you do if you couldn't fail? Throw it away. Here's a big question. What would you do if you stopped giving a shit what people thought? Would you ask that person out for a date? Would you start that business? Would you be creative? Would you do something new, innovative? Every single person that's ever done something that changed our world, that's what they did. From the Wright brothers with a crazy idea for an airplane down to Menlo Park, of this crazy internet, all the way down the field. And if you look at the great leaders of today, the Elon Musks and the things of this nature, that's all they're doing differently. They don't mind what other people are saying. What they're doing is they have the idea and they have the initiative to take action in spite of that fear.
I have one more question for you, and it is, how do you decide what investment is right for you in your business?
It's a great question, and it comes up a lot. And for me, it goes down to something that I see an income-producing activity. That's it. Does it have an opportunity for income producing? I stopped focusing on passion and desire and purpose and things of this nature because I've already accomplished so many of those amazing things, and now I'm looking for business income growth opportunity. And I also understand it might not be in the form of something that I expected before. In fact, right now, I just joined forces where I'm the president of something I said I'd never do in my life, network marketing, yet I see now the incredible opportunity to impact people's lives and create not only revenue for myself, but for millions of people around the world. So I'm going into something that I used to run from, and now I'm heading right towards that wave because I see the opportunity to truly make a huge impact.
And how do you avoid, because you are a part of so many things, how do you avoid making the wrong choice?
I seek counsel and not opinion. So what I do is I've got a great circle of sphere of influence, and these people will tell me what I need to hear and not always what I want to hear. So if I'm working on something, I've got a mastermind group that I go to and say, hey, here's my situation, something I'm working through. What do you think? And by the way, if everyone goes to mastermindgroup.com, there's an association right there where you can go through, it's only a few $100, and you can become a licensed certified mastermind facilitator. This is what's missing in our industry. People are doing these mastermind groups where they sit in a semicircle and a guy tries to sell you their shit all day. That's not a mastermind. A mastermind is where someone sits in a chair and says, my name's Greg. I'm working on the situation. Here's all the information. What do you guys think I do? And then the group goes around and asks clarifying questions before they give input. And then once they have all the information, they say, here's a couple of suggestions, ideas, and then give you the feedback based on that information. We've created the first ever Robert's Rules system to teach people how to go through it so they can help one another. So what I do is I'm a living embodiment of it, where I go to my mastermind group and say, my name's Greg, here's what I'm working on. And I look for feedback from people that have expertise outside my own.
Always seeking counsel.
Counsel is the key to everything. Remember, all we know is all we know. Look, when I wanted to be a best-selling author, like I said, I went to Barnes & Noble, bought every best-selling book and said, teach me. I want to be a best-selling author, not a best-writing author. When I wanted to be a great speaker on stage, I went to Les Brown and Charlie Tremendous Jones and Tony Robbins and said, hey, teach me, because that's what I wanted to do. Seek counsel from people that are getting the results you want. Ultimately, add your own spin. You can do it for yourself.
Do you have any final words of wisdom or advice before we close out?
Absolutely. Understand this. What's common sense to you is genius to someone else. Sometimes we don't give ourselves credit for all the good stuff that's going on. Look, 10 things are happening in your world right now. 8 of them are kicking ass. 1 of them, iffy, and 1's crap. And unfortunately, we spend all of our time working on that crap and focusing on it rather than celebrating those 8 amazing things and adjusting that 9th one. So for myself, if I could give anyone like a magic wand, it would be to give yourself a little bit of a clout for the good things that you're doing. Celebrate those victories once in a while. When you have a good little sale and things go your way, rather than go, oh, it could have been more. Heck no, stop, take a break, go buy yourself a burger and a brand new pair of tennis shoes. And then later on, when another success comes, do it again. Celebrate your victories, enjoy them, because that's what life's all about.
Greg, I really appreciate all of the things you shared with us today. A lot of them are just speaking to me. I'm just like, my mind's spinning right now because I'm like, these are like, I'm dealing with a lot of this stuff. And that's why I love podcasts and interviews because I get to seek counsel from people like you and share your wisdom with so many other people. So,
and by the way, how hard was I to get a hold of?
I mean, I know Shannon very well, so not that hard.
Exactly. The most successful people are the most available. Reach out. You'd be shocked. Look, if you're in a small little hometown and guy owns a big car dealer and another person owns a great restaurant, another person owns a movie house, reach out to those people. Say, I want to start a mastermind group. Why don't we all come together once in a while and talk about what we're going through? They're going to love you because they have no one else to talk to. I realize that the most successful people are most available because very few have peers that they can go to because they surround themselves with people that work for them. And here's the big secret of success. Surround yourself with people you have respect for, not people you have influence over.
Wow. Greg, thanks so much. Thanks for being on here. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being available. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. You got it. Peace out. I'll see you all later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.